never had money.
Welcome to the Red Couch, Spoken Priestess. Blaklez is with me, and he just left Cap City Records. So that's what we brought him here to speak about, mostly. How are you doing?
Well, and you?
You well? You good? How
I'm
you
good.
feeling?
Tired. I just
Tired.
had like long ass conversation with somebody that just bum rushed me.
Exhausting people, aren't they?
Yo,
Let's talk about your departure from, your record label, Cap City Records. What happened there?
I mean, I've been with those dudes for like 7 years or so, and I think the one thing they did for me was helping me to get to a level where people know my music, know my name. I get there's a lot of interest around me, and been with those guys for like 7 years, and they got me to a point where people know my name, know my music, and there was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sacrifices made on both ends, from them and from me. And at some point, you get to a point where you have to grow yourself as an artist, and I think this is purely a growth thing for me. I feel like we've come to the end of a cycle. Me and them came to an end of a cycle, and I feel it was time for me to branch out.
How do you, it's something I always, want to know. How do you know when you're ready to be on your own? I mean, relatively being in independent labels, it's kind of a good, good side and a bad side, because you get to have your independence, but you still also have a little bit of help. How do you know that you're ready to just do things on your own?
Sometimes it's not a case of being on your own per se, but it's a case of sort of moving and ensuring that you have the best resources or the freedom to get your music to the next level. I think I've got the kind of music that people should hear. I kept emphasizing that I'm the kind of painter that doesn't ask for the opinion of the gallery. I paint and I exhibit, and I want to be in a position where that kind of trust that I have in myself can be shown by the people whoever that I decide to work with, because the little niche market that I've created for myself completely trusts me. I mean, I've had like a couple of events this weekend, and it was completely amazing how the interactions that I have with people when I get off stage, and the kind of things they say to me, and the kind of things that my music makes them go through and gets them through. I want to do more of that, and I think the music should be on a bigger scale, because there's a whole world out there that's waiting to be inspired. People want to be dragged out of situations. People want to feel good, People want to know that it's cool, it's all right. So I'm that kind of dude, and I need a bigger platform for that.
Do you think there's a place for someone like yourself? I mean, looking at the kind of music that we're consuming lately, obviously every artist has a place in art, indefinitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're saying you want to take your music to a larger scale.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of artists in the country get really big and fade away. I've never lost relevance, ever. So that should tell you something, about standing out in terms of the music instead of fitting in.
Yeah.
So I don't really fit in. I believe my music sort of makes me stand out in the sense that it's different. And I know every artist likes to say this, but mine is different. I'm a different character altogether. I'm opinionated, but I care about my audience. I care about the quality that I give to my audience. I care about their well-being. I care about my country, my continent. I'm like a person that has like the burden of the world on their shoulders.
Steve Biko.
Yeah, rap Steve Biko. I feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like when my time is up on this earth, people are gonna remember certain things. I mean, people don't remember you for your money and your looks and your swag and the car that you drove. They remember you for the impact that you had in their lives with regards to the things that really matter, because at the end of the day, we all have the same destiny. We were all born and we're all going to die. It's the in between that sort of defines how people will remember us. And I think I'm at that place where it's a crossroads, like this in between. What am I going to do with this in between? Am I just going to settle for being another guy that stacks up all this money and is like poor? Has inside. So and the answer is no. So it would be nice to have both, so yeah, we're working on that. I mean, Blaklez and Lesotho are not too far apart. Blaklez just protects Lesotho very well, but the ideas are the same. It's to make music that will change the landscape of some of the things in this country.
Is there somebody that you are looking of working with in terms of expanding yourself, or are you just gonna, wait for people to approach you with certain proposals?
No, it's not. I'm working now by myself. I think it is what I've been doing over the past year, actually. Even though I was under the umbrella of a label, but I've been working by myself, and obviously with. Nobody's been giving anything to me. I don't have that kind of attitude. And I believe, somebody once said that growing up happens when what you know changes how you live. In other words, like layman's term, knowledge is power. So what you do with that knowledge is up to you. So I've learned and I've seen a couple of things and where not to go, when to leave. And when to do things on your own. So right now, I'm just doing it on my own.
Yeah. Would you say, you want to expand yourself? A team is obviously needed.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in terms of people you want to work with? So
I've got a manager, for one, and they've got a couple of people that are. I'm not alone, as in I'm doing everything.
Yeah,
when I mean alone, I mean there isn't any backing for me. So it comes straight out of the pocket, everything. I have to be smart about what I do. And it's very interesting because, a lot of people approach you, like the young guys and whatnot. They want to make music and they want, yo, Sammy, take me under your wing. They think it's all pizza, because they see you on TV or they see you doing shows, you're doing this. And they think that, your life is really that great, and they don't understand that the hard work, whatever car you drive and how you seem to be living, there's like huge sacrifice for that. So there is a team in place. Like I said, I'm in a stage where I just needed to move away from a cycle that I felt had come to an end, because again, if you overstay, the whole thing becomes stale. You start feeling there's resentment that begins, you don't know where to go, you feel like opportunities are closed, maybe you're closing a door on someone that's supposed to come in there and do better than you, that kind of thing. So yeah.
We all need to refresh every now and then.
Right. Yeah. So it's nothing dramatic on my end with them. I got nothing negative to say about them.
What are we doing this year? Let's leave Cap City Records alone. What are we doing? You took out Blue, which is from the previous album, and a single.
I'm going to be working on a project this year. In fact, I've started sort of the initial stages. I've always said that I wanted to make a black consciousness type album, but that's cool. That would be so cool in the mainstream. But it will be the way I don't know how I'll do that, I need to just sit down and think about the music and respect the music and see the kind of features I would have, the kind of production. Yeah, it would be nice to do something like that this year. I don't know if that will be the project, but I know I'm working on a project.
I was about to say, actually partnering with like-minded people would make it so much more powerful.
But you see, that's the thing with music. Sometimes you don't have to, like with features especially.
Yeah, features.
You don't have to work with people that think like you. You don't grow like that. You need people who are different to you sometimes, so you can have different ideas. The song can sound different. You don't see yourself the way other people see you most of the time. So yeah, like I said, I'll be working on a project that might be a bit more intense than A Broken Man's Dream, because I'm that kind of beast.
Sheesh.
No, it's not gonna.
How much deeper can
No,
it
it's
get?
not. No, not deep, but
Yeah.
intense in a sense. In terms of the sound, it'll be a bit more vibier. But again, like, I got a lot of stuff to say, you know. So
Yeah.
I cannot do the same thing as everyone else, because then what's the use? If you know that you get guys who do trap and they do it very well, so you don't need a Blaklez making his album a trap album. I can feature on a trap song, it's a different story, but I don't need to make a trap album because that's what's happening and I want to be part of it. There are artists that are good at that sort of thing, and maybe somebody will have a Blaklez album and then that trap album, and it's all good. You know,
Yeah.
everybody goes home happy.
Are we getting a music video for Blue?
Yeah, we're working on it actually. As we speak, I just got the treatment back, so you will get a music video for Blue. You will get a music video for Leatherface. I know, like the hardcore.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, and Hulukile, there's a bit of a surprise with that. We're just working on trying to clear the sample, and
Please tell me Tepotola's in the video.
I can't say
Okay,
anybody's doing anything. It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you what would
tried.
happen. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'll probably tell you before, you know, so the surprise will get ruined at some point. But yeah, there's a lot of, everything that I'll be working on is gonna be shot.
What are you listening to right now? I mean, sometimes when artists do art, they've got some sort of flow or somebody that they're listening to for reference. Who are you listening to right now?
Not for reference. I'm not listening to anyone for reference, but I'm listening to a couple of albums, a couple of artists. Anderson .Paak, I think he's really dope. Yo, you won't believe. Ed Sheeran, I love, because I think that guy's got music all over his blood, man. So I listen to him, especially the live stuff. Chance the Rapper, not because he won a Grammy. I've been listening to acid rap and
No
stuff.
judging.
You know? Yeah, no. At home, who am I listening to at home? The Devil's Playground, P. Dot.
Yeah.
Been abusing that. Kitini's tape, pretty dope. Envey's album's not out, so yeah, man, like a whole lot of what I listen to. Yeah, a whole lot of just different types of music, different types of artists. It's not just basically hip hop, but the Anderson .Paak album like made an impression. That kind of funk, that kind of soul.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. And he's also groovy at the same time. I also like Bruno Mars. I think he's an incredible performer.
Yeah.
The drugs do well for him.
Wow. Yeah.
You might have to stay on the drugs. I'm just kidding. No, but you saw what happened. You saw what happened when Eminem got off the drugs.
I know.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars is also another dope one. Yeah, I'm listening to those guys.
How far are you with the album? You said you just got started. You don't know what it's going to become.
Not far. Let's not call it an album yet. It's just like I'm right here.
Let's talk about the Black consciousness idea. So let's not say that will be the album, but let's talk about you.
It's just an idea.
Putting together an expression.
It's not deep. Like it's not. People see Black consciousness as black over everything, yo, Maibuya Africa type of. No, I mean it's just in a sense where a lot of us grew up a certain way. A lot of our culture is getting lost because we're moving further and further towards the West. It just means that I'll be addressing more issues pertinent to black young kids. Some of the songs will have that funk. They might have that 80s South African disco feel. It's just a lot of stuff that people will be happy to relate to, not stuff that will depress them and say.
How do you know that people will be happy to?
Because I'm not a guy that sits around with security when I'm at shows, or I sit there and not talk to the people. This is what I do. Part of my job is I talk to people. I engage. I know my market. So when I say the people, I'm talking about my market.
Yeah.
And like I said, if it's what I paint and it creates and births a new market from that, you know, then God bless that. So I know because I speak to the people. And I don't mean through Twitter or whatever. I actually engage with the people everywhere that I go, you know. And it's not on some fake humble, hey, let me talk to you, take a picture. I mean, have conversations. Some of the dudes some of the fans don't even care nothing about the picture. They just want to talk, yo, what's up with this, whatnot, you know. And that's the perfect kind of interaction for me. So, you know, and I always said this, and I'll say it. This industry, this country needs a Blaklez. It needs like 100 Blaklezes. People who actually give a damn, you know, about the quality of the work, the quality of the music, just what they give to the people. We've heard the story, the other story, you know, we're in the club, we're doing this, whatever. Let's hear the, you know, the news story.
The real life story.
Yeah, the news. Let's not say real life, because that other stuff is real as well. Guys actually are living like that these days. So I'm not really one for talking about where I'm at in life, whatever, you know. Because I can never really get there. This thing's like a race that's going to end when my life ends. So you'll never get me at a point where you feel or think that I've made it, because this journey will never end. I mean, that's how I know people will like what I'm about to bring to them, because that is the kind of journey I'll be giving them, that it's never going to end.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. I think people who think like that think beyond their surroundings, and actually people that are listening to them.
It's tough because I'm trying not to be fake deep. It's like there's nothing more annoying than fake deep.
What is fake deep? Like how do you
just saying stuff to just get like the peanut gallery riled up.
But you never know if that's the person's truth that's saying it. You can't say it's
yeah, but
fake
sometimes you can tell. You know, the people that like the sounds of their own voices. Just kidding. Just kidding. He's cool. He's cool. He's cool. No, yeah, no. He's cool. He's cool. He's putting me on his platform.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's fam. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think if you listen to my music and you meet me, there isn't much of a difference, right?
Yeah, not much.
Nah.
Not much.
Yeah. I've never heard anybody call me arrogant, ever. You before you knew me.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
And then we spoke.
Yeah. And you were a nice guy.
I am.
Okay.
Everybody in this room will tell you.
Okay. Agreed. Listen, I wish you all the luck with everything you're doing this year. We'll be supporting you. We'll be checking everything out. And there's no doubt that the people will love whatever you'll give them. It comes from a good place. It sounds like it comes from an earnest place as well. It also comes out in the music. So just do you, boo.
No doubt.
Don't sign to no label. Don't start no label.
Hey, if they throw a bunch of money at me, who knows?
Okay.
No, like you never.
A bunch of money is important.
No. Nothing's more important than making sure that the music survives. So yeah. Cool.
Thanks for coming out to speak to us, man.
Sure.
That's it.
Broadcast live